York mentioned, there's a concept of triaging. Your expectation of how you should be cared for and the standard operating protocols by which the health workers work may be different. And that should not form any basis for which any health worker should be assaulted. I mean, I see a lot of ethical breaches that occurred in this whole process. Who authorizes someone to film live from the emergency? Even if a doctor took his phone and took pictures of people lying in the emergency, that doctor could lose his license. If a nurse should film, in fact, a commissioned theater in some part of this world, the health workers say, oh, we are going to miss this theater because they are decommissioning it. Let's take pictures in it. And they took pictures. Unknowing to them, there was a patient in the background. They lost their license because of this. So what are we condoning here? That someone can walk into a major emergency center with patients lying down in all sorts of states and go live and it's acceptable? And no one is talking about that. That people can be assaulted at the place of work and it's acceptable. So I don't think we should look at it in a political lens. I'm coming from the fact that what are the standards in our healthcare? If you think that these nurses did not live up to expectation, are there means for redress? If you think the doctors didn't live up to expectation, are there means for redress? And yet they are. There are complaint mechanisms. There are management of the hospital.
But many have said these complaint mechanisms haven't worked over the years, and they are just there.
What do we mean by having to work? Have you not seen people sued and being paid, asked to pay millions of dollars, millions of cedis in this country? Have you not seen people feel that their care they got didn't meet the standard and they took the case to court and they won? We have doctors who have been suspended from practice. I have served on this professional and divisional committee of one of the regulatory authorities. We've struck the licenses of registered practitioners for not meeting the standard. So we shouldn't dare say that, oh, because I feel the system will not respond promptly if I make a complaint, then I should take the law into my own hands. Then where will we get to in this country? And remember, this is not like taking, then if you feel your teachers have not taught your kids well, you go to the school and beat them, or you feel the police is not handling your case well, justice is delaying, you go to the court and beat them. Is that what we are saying? And in the hospital where other people are lying down in pain, perhaps exposed, and we don't even allow other relatives to come in, you go live and it's acceptable? No. So I think that there are redress mechanisms. As I said, I don't know the full details, but look, when that 70-something-year-old man died for lack of no bed, a thorough investigation was done. We looked at triaging that was done at every level. If it was tried orange, what did you do? If it was tried red, what did you do? If it was tried green, what did it mean? Time to respond. There are international standards for all of this. So test the law. Test it. And that's the only way we can get all our practitioners to be on their toes. They can be sued. They can be, you can petition their regulators who can discipline them. People can cease to practice as nurses, as doctors, as pharmacists for not meeting the standard. That is the direction we should be going to. It should not give anybody the opportunity to walk into a hospital and assault people because we feel we are not doing well. And I would not want any position on minority says this, majority says this. My brother, you know that today, if you fall ill and you enter a hospital, there's no political color in your blood.
Absolutely.
You'll be attended to as a Ghanaian. And so we should not take these things to be politics as usual. Okay, so is the health minister here? Is the NDC? So we will stand here and make this demand. Or it is MPP. We will stand here and make this demand. I could be at Rich Hospital tomorrow. If you were a patient who had been triaged red, and therefore attention was on you, and maybe the nurses had tried the patient brought by these people orange, and attention was not in him, and therefore these nurses are assaulted, and you were left, and something happened to you, will you be happy?
Well, Dr. Chumame, the gentleman in question here says at the time he was at the hospital, his colleague who was supposed to be receiving treatment was lying down and nobody was attending to him. I mean, have you found out from your members if this is true? And according to him, he was not receiving the needed treatment that he deserved, and that actually sparked this whole, tension and outrage.
All right. So, and precisely what my other panelists have said, that there are systems, there are processes, there are protocols that govern the triaging system in the hospital. You cannot come and impose your concept of health on people who have been trained and licensed. There is a process, okay, which is globally accepted. There's a globally accepted practice of triaging patients. When you come and you are okay, maybe you have some aberrations, your condition is not that serious, we trial you green. It means you are stable, you can wait a little while, you are not going to be abandoned. Some first aid could be given to you, whilst we attend to those that have been triaged yellow, orange, and red. And obviously, based on the urgency, it's not about who came first. In fact, the emergency room is not just like, it's not like OPD, where in OPD is about first come, first base. No, the emergency room is premised on the concept of urgency and near morbidity and mortality. So we look at those who are at higher risk, let me put it that way, okay, of death or imminent danger. So if you come in as a lay person and you think that they should have done A or B, then it means that you don't appreciate the concept of the triaging. And I think that we need to do a lot of education so that people will come to appreciate some of these things. But there is no way professional nurses and doctors can neglect a health worker. Let me tell you, there were other trauma patients, 2 other trauma patients. One of them had fracture base of skull. Okay, and his condition, the doctors will tell you, it's more critical as compared to whoever they brought. And that person had been seen. It's not as though he was abandoned. So this concept of arrogating to themselves certain powers and a certain I know it all behavior and dictating the pace to people that have been licensed to practice their trade, it's unacceptable and must be condemned by all well-meaning Ghanaians. Because you see, I cannot come to your studio and dictate to you how your cameraman should point the camera at you when I have virtually no knowledge about how this is done. So these are some of the things that have gone on, and we have been well briefed. In fact, the more reason why we were late in coming out with our release was that we wanted to be very thorough about the happenings of the hospital. So on that fateful Sunday, we sent people there. On Monday, the acting regional chairman of GRNM was there until we also followed up yesterday. So we were very mindful and we knew exactly what had transpired. We listened to the patient, we listened to management, we looked at the incident book and what had been written thereof, and the briefing received from the officer responsible for the incident book. We went to the ward, spoke to the victim and some other patients that were there. So we were very thorough about our investigations. And we shouldn't be hoodwinked by some of these propaganda that is going on. Who dared that young man that he has every right to film anybody compromising the security and the privacy of other patients? I saw a man in a cast telling him that, Ralph, stop what you are doing. I came and have been taken care of. Don't film me. And he filmed him. This is a breach of protocol. In fact, the health sector or the hospital is a security zone. You can't just go filming. Even nurses and doctors, they will tell you, you cannot film anybody. All right? Even in theater, when somebody, Titus, my friend, is a gynecologist. Even when somebody says that I'm going to be birthed through cesarean section, I want it filmed, you the one who, and you agree to do that based on her consent, you give it to her, you delete it from your phone. You must actually use her phone to do that, even when everybody has agreed, including the surgeon. The one who filmed, assuming I use my phone to do that, I must quickly delete it after I have sent it to the patient. And it is only the patient or the husband who has every legitimate right to assess that kind of thing. So
yeah, I understand. But beyond the filming, there is a statement from the Health Ministry, and point 3, which has 2 points actually under it. The second one says that they are looking at, as a matter of urgency, that is the point 3 saying, as a matter of urgency, quote, the ministry is taking immediate steps to, and I quote, investigate the circumstances that led to the reported delay in care and address any gaps that may have contributed to the incident. Are you accepting that there could have been some form of delay in issuing or in actually giving out, or delivering the healthcare to the patients who are supposed to be receiving treatment?
Based on whose reportage?
This is from the Ministry of Health.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that who said that there was a delay in healthcare delivery? When we met the hospital director, he made it clear that's why I was taking my time to explain to you the triage system. So on whose premise is that call being made that there was a delay?
Well, definitely we cannot establish, but the statement, which is from the Ministry of Health, is saying that investigate the reported delay. And we understand that the information they got, basically from the hospital, and also the victim who was in the person of Ralph, right?
Okay, so that's what I'm telling you, that Ralph was triaged green and was told to go and procure a card, and he was insisting that the nurse should leave whatever she was doing to go and do the card. And nurses don't do cards. You understand what I'm saying? So he may think that that period of asking him to go procure a card or go through the registration process has delayed, and he put it out there. That's what I'm saying, that on whose account are we coming to that logical conclusion that there was a delay? And that's why I laid bare to you the processes that are involved, which is a global standard. So, and we interacted with the hospital management, and they told us there was no such delay. They were there to offer services based on the laid down protocol.
So if you spoke to the hospital,
I cannot take that. I cannot take that. I recognize that sometimes there will be delay, but the delay may be attributable to other things. You cannot fault the healthcare workers that are going through due process of triaging patients and turn around to say that there was a delay. Delay in what? That's what I'm saying.
I'm surprised. How come you were briefed differently and the health minister was also given a different briefing?
Look, that's why I told you that we're very thorough about our investigations. We need to interrogate the information and whose account the minister came to that conclusion. Was it because of what Ralph said? And I think that is it. I'm sure perhaps we are looking at, because Ralph was invited. Ralph was invited to the ministry. Prof, excuse me. Ralph was invited to the ministry, all right? And the minister said that they had to listen to his side of the story. Somebody who has visited the hospital, visited a mayhem on professional nurses, and you are inviting that person to your office to listen to his side of which story? That guy has committed assault and battery and must be apprehended immediately.
Did you report to the police?
Did
the hospital report to the police?
Oh, absolutely. That was the first thing we demanded of the hospital. They did that, and we actually looked at the statement that was given by the by the nurse in question. That was the first thing. When we went there, we asked whether indeed formal report has been done, and they said yes, that has already been procured. So the due process were followed by the hospital as far as they are concerned. We are saying that our account that we got from hospital management and other healthcare professionals is that they went through due process of triaging, and any interpretation placed on scene by the perpetrator is false.
Let me bring in Dr. Kingsley Adjaman at this point. He is a member of the Health Committee of Parliament. I mean, you are seeing the videos on our screens. At what point do you see this video, and what has been your reaction so far? The minister has been very busy as far as this issue is concerned. Are you so far satisfied with what has actually transpired so far?
To your cherished viewers and my colleagues. At the point I thought you have forgotten about me. Anyway, the